Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Tom Stewart here, Smart Business Moves. Our special guest today is Heather Canning. Hey, Heather, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Holding down the fort in Jupiter, Florida.
Yep.
Heather's been real busy adding some new business to her business. Maybe we can chat about that a little bit. But the primary thing that we're going to be talking about today is offices. Do you need one? Do you not need one? Under what circumstances does it make sense? Pros and cons. Hey, Janet, how are you?
Hi, Denise.
Liz, how are you today?
I'm good. How about you, Tom?
I'm doing fine.
Even with the rain hair?
Hey, now, you just couldn't wait to get that in, could you?
I had to take my advantages when they come, Tom.
Liz,
I'm having trouble finding we are live, right? I'm having trouble finding our Facebook Live.
Everything here shows Denise says we're live, and so does Leslie. So,
hey, Leslie.
It's a pretty good indication that we are.
How come when guys have rainy hair, it's not as bad as us girls' rainy hair, right?
Not even close. I would have never even known. His hair still looks cute. What the heck?
What the heck?
If you or I were out in the rain, we would not be having cute hair. That is not a thing.
Cute.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Tom. Handsome hair.
Right. I know you.
So I really do like to have our Facebook Live up so that I can comment, and I'm really not finding it.
So Denise says cleaning business today isn't up, but it's showing here that it is, and here that it is.
I'm on cleaning business today. Thank you. I needed that, Denise, so that it's not just me being crazy. Yeah. Hey, Leslie, I figured that it wasn't yet there, although I liked it.
Of course, you still might be crazy.
And that's very true, Tom. I have to give you that. I am a little bit crazy regardless. Oh, there we are. I found us.
So today we're going to be talking about to office or not to office. That is the question.
Yes. Good, Tom.
Tell us about tomorrow's guest, Liz.
So tomorrow's guest is my brother, and he is my younger brother. He's a year younger than I am, and he was, I think, 12 years ago, maybe 13 years ago now. He'll give us exact dates and stuff. He was a homeless drug addict. Not just homeless. I'm not sure that I told everybody he was a homeless drug addict. And so he wasn't, he was not in a good place in a lot of ways. He'll tell us more about his story. And he went from this homeless drug addict to a multimillionaire in 6 years. And he has a net worth of over 10 million at 12 years. And so you guys know that a net worth is better than just your income too, right? It's a lot better. It's not just bringing in $10 million. You got to be bringing in a whole heck of more. Yeah. So he's going to talk to us about some of his strategies and some of the ways that he thinks and some of the things that he's done over the years to get him there. And hopefully we can all glean some ideas and some information from him to maybe help us do a little bit more of the same. Oh, you found me too. Yeah, Denise, right? It just popped up late. I know. I found it too. I don't know what happened there. It was just weird. So anyway, that's my brother. He'll be on Tuesday.
I'm trying to do the quick math. How many houses do I have to clean to have a net worth?
You need first you need a big calculator.
I don't know that math, Heather. I don't know that math. Yeah.
So Wednesday is our favorite Wednesday of the month. It's Deal Day, and if you haven't done Deal Day, it's really cool. It's the one day of the month that we actually turn it into a pitch fest. We have vendors of the house cleaning industry join us. They get 4 minutes to share with us what they do and why it would be useful to us as cleaning business owners. And going along with that is a special deal just for Smart Business Moves participants, and the deal is only good for 2 days. So you'll hear about it Wednesday afternoon, and it'll be gone by end of day Friday. And we've done this a couple of times already. It's been a lot of fun. Had a lot of people on, and this Wednesday, I trust will be no different. So, be here Wednesday at 5:00 and play along with us on Deal Day.
I know what the deals are. I don't even know what they are this week or this month.
Well,
I'm
I
curious.
can't. I'll tell you. I'll tell you this time Wednesday. It'll be, that's our little secret. We can't spill the beans on that till it happens.
All right.
Marlo's with us. Hey, Marlo.
Hey, Marlo.
And Friday, excuse me, we don't do anything on Friday. Thursday, we've got On the Spot. We've got a secret guest, and we've got clues for that secret guest. I think. Do we, Liz?
I'm trying to think what the clue is today. You didn't really love my clue last week on Thursday when I said that our guest was not a friar.
No, I thought that was
you didn't
witty.
love that.
I thought that was witty.
I thought it was good, right? I thought it was good.
I don't have a problem with that.
They aren't a flyer like as an airplane?
No, she's not a friar. And not like Friar Tuck. Like FRY versus FRIAR.
Like
Okay.
like the vat thing that you would use to make French fries in.
Yeah, like
I was
oil.
I used to be a fryer when I worked in fast food many years ago. I'd be on making French fries and the hot apple pies.
Oh,
Did you work at McDonald's?
oh,
No, I worked at a Hardee's actually, but they're all kind of the same.
I worked at McDonald's
Yeah.
as a teenager, and I made the biscuits back in the day when McDonald's made them from scratch. I would be covered from head to toe in flour, and it was the best job ever.
What time would you have to be
yeah,
at work?
I kind of like that.
Oh, like 5:30. Oh, please. I was very young. I popped like no-dos to get through the day because, you go out and party until like 2:30. I get work at 5:30.
Yeah.
I was very young.
I remember those
I'm
days.
really glad that you said you were. I vaguely remember those days. Yeah. No, Marlo, it's not Tom Gillespie, but did you check this out? Tom Gillespie's name is very close to my brother's name of Tom Gillespie. And my brother, a lot of times people will spell his name, Tom Gillespie, even though that's not correct. So every time I see Tom Gillespie, I think of my brother. So, which is a fun little thing.
Schedule. I was like, wait a minute. I had to do a double take to see the spelling of the last name.
Yeah. I actually did spell it right, or Tom actually did spell it right, y'all, because it does seem to a lot of people like it's spelled wrong. Gillespie is not a common spelling, where Gillespie is much more common. So you like the way I just did not give us a clue?
Well, I
That's
thought
my
you
tricky
were
way to
waiting
get out of it.
let the suspense build up.
No, I was stalling to come up with a good clue. Let's see, a clue. So this business owner is buying an RV and has plans to incorporate her RV into her business. It's part of her business plan, and that's happening soon. So if you don't know what that is, and if you do, you might know who she is. All right. Somebody did guess it last week. I don't remember who. I think it might have been Leslie or Marlo. It was a regular guessed it. It gave us the initials. So yeah, if you want to guess, you guys guess with initials. Don't guess with the name, because then we can't really answer. We have to pretend like we don't notice. All right.
I came up with a clue that
I didn't know that Tom has similar brothers.
I came up with a clue that's probably as dumb as anything we've come
What did you
up
say,
with.
Tom?
I was thinking of a clue and I've got one. Maybe I'll save it for tomorrow though. And it's
Yes, please.
it's really dumb, but
Okay, good. Save it for tomorrow. We need it.
okay.
Because I'm running, I run low. Yes, Marlo, you're right. DB. Good job. I thought it was you, but then you guessed Tom Gillespie. So I was like, maybe not. But,
Talking about
yeah, you
you.
got it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are good to
Oh,
go.
I know who it is.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. All right. I can't wait to hear Tom's goofy clue tomorrow now. Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Ah,
It's gonna be good.
all right. Good. Was it as good as my she's not a friar clue?
It's right up
Pretty
there. You're gonna. It's in the same area.
All right.
Actually, it's kind of the same genre to give you some.
All right. All right. Looking forward to it. All right. Well, for those of you that are on this Facebook Live today to talk about offices instead of talking about us just yakking, if you guys have any questions about offices, what are you looking for in an office? What are you guys doing? Does everybody here have an office? Actually, why don't you guys all chime in for me? Hey, Starlene, I didn't even see you up there. Starlene, Denise, Leslie, Marlo, Kimberly. I think there was somebody else up there. You guys chime in for me. Tell me, do you guys all have offices? Just yes, no, let us know what's going on. And just kind of wanted to, I just wanted to chat about it. And Tom, can you explain why I want to chat about it? I've said it so many times, I just am getting more rambly instead of less.
There's a lot of strategy behind offices, and it's kind of evolved over the years too. I mean, back, they roll back 10 years ago. I think that you saw the idea of having an office once you got to a certain size was almost a given. You didn't have mobile devices. You typically were giving out work instructions on paper. I mean, if you're small enough, you could kind of do it out of your home, but still, you had regular contact with your cleaning professionals. Things have evolved, and more people are able to run their businesses using technology without having to have that same face-to-face and logistics need that an office served. And all of that was pre-COVID. And now that we're into these unprecedented times with COVID-19, I think more of us have really figured out what's necessary. Do you need the necessity of office or lack thereof? And there's probably a lot of things that you were using your office for that you thought were must-haves that you may have figured out that there's ways of doing those things without using your office. So, a lot of different angles is a lot of people use their office as an investment. They go out and they buy something with the idea that it's going to appreciate in value. And I mean, there's strategically, there's a whole train of thought that goes along with that. But combination of technology and layered over it, the things that we've learned with COVID, do we want to just step back and ask, some of the assumptions that we've made in the past about, well, of course we need an office because of blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe that doesn't really hold true anymore.
Yeah. So we already have a couple of opinions here. Paul is saying that one of the reasons why he has an office, and sounds like, Paul, you're planning on holding on to your office too, based on what you see here, is that an office adds so much credibility to a business, right?
Yeah, and we've seen Paul's office. He's given us a tour before, and he's got a rocking office.
Oh my gosh, so nice. Yeah, and location too, and so many. There are so many awesome things about having a business. Who said that they went? Oh, Kimberly. She had an office and she went remote. So she said, and no office now. But she also said she misses having an office to get away from her kids and her husband. That's awesome.
You need downsizing to a supply room.
I think it depends on the size of your company. You run like the size of your teams. If you have teams that share a car, that's so important for them to be able to come together in the vehicle. The size of your company. I remember when I was a lot smaller, working from home was totally feasible. and we grew it to a great size being at home. But washing those cloths at home, man, it sure was nice to get an office to take everything and get it out of my house.
Ooh, you know what? Starlene is bringing up another point that I forgot about. We have a small office that saves $1,500 a month in travel time, closer to customers, and better for interviews. So yes. So I know back in the day, there wasn't really an option. I mean, when I started American Made 7 years ago, there wasn't a thing as Zoom or Ring Central or Facebook Live. That wasn't a thing. So
Internet.
you had to meet.
Internet.
Yeah.
There was no such thing
Internet,
as the internet.
No, there wasn't. Because that was before what's his face invented it, right?
Yeah, before there was no such thing as these. I mean, the big technology maybe was like a pager.
Yeah, we had pagers for sure, and we did have a cell phone, but it was big. It was a bag.
A bag
It
phone.
was called a bag. I think it's called a bag phone. Yeah, so it was big.
That probably wasn't 27 years ago. I mean, it could have been 25 maybe. So yeah, I guess they had bag phones 27 years ago. It was cutting edge.
I remember the brick phone.
We were cutting edge, Tom. What, Heather?
The bag phone? I've never heard of that.
It was in a bag. You carried around it was, it was in a bag, and it had a handset that looked like a real telephone, and you
like in a case, like in a bag.
It was like a
it's kind of like how you kept. It's kind of like you carry around a laptop right now. You used to carry around a phone like that. That was
but the
how
dimensions
you
were
did
kind
it.
of like a lunch box, like the soft side lunch box things. Kind of looked like that. It had a phone in it, and a big I had a big battery, in there too. But you'd take it and you'd like bring it in your car and you'd plug it in the cigarette lighter.
Yeah, Paul was pointing out it had a huge battery. Yeah, it was huge. I have no idea where we got this phone. I do not remember. There is no way in heck that I knew about phones, that I went out and purchased this phone, almost the size of a car battery. Yeah, it was huge. So I'm not exactly sure we got it. I must have gotten it as a gift or something. But yeah, it was. Oh, Debbie had a bag phone too.
When we needed to talk to the team, we'd guess which home they were in. We would dial that home, let it ring twice, and hang up. And that was the cue to the team that they needed to call the office.
We only rang once and hung up. Yeah. Isn't that weird? We all did the same thing. Ring once, and then they had to call the office. Yep, that's so funny. And then after that was... Yeah. And then it really got high tech, and we got pagers, and the pagers were awesome. Right? It was like, wow. How did we live without pagers?
First pagers would just have a phone number on it that you would dial back, but then they got to the point where you could like text on them and send messages, and that was. So I mean, we digress, but but it is perspective, because a lot of things have changed since then. So, do we still, under what circumstances are our offices necessary? We've gotten some good feedback here. It's a good way to get away from the family. Don't have to deal with laundry. Certainly it is an image thing, a marketing thing, and gives you credibility.
If you don't have an office, you never leave work. Yeah.
No.
That can be true. Although I had a home office, and for years, most people that know me know I had a home office for years and years and years. And I did not, I would shut the door. When that door was shut, I wasn't at work. And I didn't answer that phone. If it rang, no. So it was easy for me to sort of unplug. I think that's kind of why it's easier for me to unplug now, too, is because I really had to be disciplined to unplug when I had my home office. So I don't know. Yeah. And Kimberly, me too. I was just really good at boundaries. It had to be. And it's easy for me not to work when I'm off work now. So Heather, what's your thinking about office?
What have you
I think you're
done
like pro office.
over the last 6 months or so? I know that pre-COVID, you had some plans, I believe, to do some different things with office space.
Yeah. So we're in our third office now, and we wanted to run a space just like 3 doors down. The rent was a lot more, and we actually wanted to have make it like a training facility and bring in ops managers and train people's ops managers and train owners. And we had to make that call in the beginning of COVID, and I couldn't pull the trigger financially. But I did work remotely for maybe a couple of months in the beginning of COVID. We have a staff of about 28, so we were able to work remotely because we dwindled to 9 people. So that's why it was manageable. At my size, we work in teams. Our office is located in the heart of our service area, so that makes a big difference too. For me, my culture is built around having everybody around. That's a big part of who we are. Having company vehicles is part of that office, right? And for us, that is our number 2 moneymaker, and bringing people in the door is recognition off of our vehicles. And I think if you do office, you work in solos, having cars, I don't really think is a big option.
Right. Solos and cars, the economics of that are harder to make work. I know some people that are starting to go that route though, but it's
yeah, but then what do? Do you send them home in the car? Do they take the car home? Do they lend it out to their friend or their neighbor on the weekends? I mean, the liability is so big, not to have that place where they all come at the end of the day to leave the cars, I would think would be a really big issue. At least for me, it would.
I'm just wondering though, when we're thinking about some of these issues, we have a tendency to think it's either this or it's this. It's because that's all we really know. But I'm always wondering, well, what do other people do? How do they do it? Like the state, they give you your car. My daughter gets a car, right? That's part of her job. They give her a car as part of her job. And it must be somewhat affordable. I mean, obviously she makes more money than our people do, but it's got to be some way. What if they parked their car? I mean, what if there was an option to take your car and you have to park it at Walmart and pick your car up there so that it's parked there overnight, and that's where it's doing some advertising for you? Or, what if everybody has their cars? You got 30 cars and they're parked around the city overnight. I mean, I feel like maybe that could be an option. I don't really know, but I feel like there's got to be more to it, y'all, than just it's either this way or that way. Don't you think?
So like where we live in
Heather.
our area, we're mostly HOAs, and you can't take an HOA home in the evening time, which really stinks. So that really hurts us in that avenue. But I like the outlet.
What does that mean, Heather?
What's that?
What does that mean? What's in
homeowners association doesn't want you to park a marked car, a branded car.
Yeah.
So they would still have to park somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
But out of
Maybe
the box,
have an office.
yeah, like with Walmart or something. Do you know that like if you have an RV, you can park? Well, at least here in Florida, you can park in a Walmart overnight for free. They want everybody to be safe. Yeah. I don't know how they feel about 30 company cars though in their parking lots.
Well, I'm thinking that you wouldn't park 30 there, but if you have 30 people, there's 30 locations that they could all park at, right? One person could park at Walmart, one person could park at True Value, one person, I don't know. And a lot of places are open, like throughout the night. So how are they going to notice one car parked out there, 2 cars? So, and like Home Depot, if you park 2 cars at Home Depot, one at one side of the parking lot, one at another side of the parking lot, or on the exits, then who's going to come into Home Depot and look and see, is anybody parked in our parking lot overnight? I don't know. I feel like there are other options. I don't even know what it is. Maybe you can make a deal with Walmart. Maybe you can make a deal with somebody. I'm not even sure who. But I'm just thinking if we wanted to do cars, there's got to be more than just, I have cars, so I have to have an office. You see what I'm saying? It can't be the only option if you have cars.
Yeah, there's a couple of dimensions of this. I mean, if you give, or don't give, if you allow your employee to use a company car for their personal use, then from an IRS perspective, that's like a benefit. That's a taxable event. And you're supposed to, according to the IRS, be accounting for that. And somebody should be paying taxes on the value that's being created by that car. Now, there's a whole set of rules and there's a broad spectrum in terms of the dollar value that you can place on that. But, you know, say that car costs you $500 a month, you can swing a deal with your employee and say, I'll let you use the car for your personal use, but you're going to pay us $50 a month, a week rather, or whatever you want to work out for the use of that car. And that shows up on their W-4 and shows up on their pay stub every week as, additional benefit for using the vehicle. The downside of it is there's an additional insurance risk. Some, your policy will cover you, but you want to make sure that you disclose that to your agent because it might, affect your underwriting somewhat. And from personal experience, I mean, it's just more mileage and you're going to have more accidents over, the long run by allowing your people to use the cars personally.
Ironically, in the state of Florida, oh shoot, sorry guys. Sorry.
That's what happens when you're in Florida.
Cell phone and I had a thing, so I just scroll up and I scroll sideways. Ironically, though, in the state of Florida, if you take a car home versus it sitting in the office overnight, the policy's cheaper.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's worth looking at.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, in the state of Florida.
That's interesting. Oh, Karen says her office staff is now working remotely. She's working 3 states away, so she's going to have the office size as soon as possible. She's paying for a huge office for a washer and dryer. I'm curious what you're going to be doing there, Karen. If you're working, you're already 3 states away. Why do you need an office at all? What are you using an office for? I'm curious to hear more about that. I like this idea. It sounds like we're doing it for your washer and dryer. Guessing you're not going to have a washer and dryer since your staff's all remote now. So how does that play out? Also, we were talking, I think this was an MMA group, wasn't it, Heather, about how to pay people for laundry? Oh, I know. We have 2 different basic ways of doing it for remote employees. One is the offer of you're welcome to bring your dirty towels in and we'll wash them and fold them, etc. And you can just pick up a fresh load, or you don't have to come to the office and you can do the towels yourself, your choice. That was one option. And then another option was just giving them a stipend for doing the towels themselves. I think that one is a little trickier, depending on labor laws in different areas, but cars are parked at the office, some take bus in or do it off, some drive in. Yeah, we have the same thing, Starlene. I know that's what Tom has too.
Yeah.
Although y'all, in my city is so small, you can't count on Uber or Lyft because at least 50% of the time they'll tell you there's no car available.
Wow.
No cars. Nobody's driving Uber or Lyft. I'm like, what? Frustrating. Little cities. And they're all eating at our 2 fast food joints. That's what's happening there.
And do you have a bus service, city bus?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
It's a little bit different system now, our bus services, because of, COVID. You can't sit as many people in the bus. They have to air it out for a certain amount of hours and blah, blah, blah. So it runs differently. It's not it's not running on the same schedule.
You know,
But people are inventive.
Sorry.
What, Heather?
To hear how
To hear what?
Hear how people run their businesses differently. I'm always intrigued, thinking like, okay, how can I get rid of my office? How can I get rid of my cars? How can I get rid of the insurance? I mean, I could make it easy, 15, 20 grand a month on top of everything else if I got rid of those things.
Yeah.
It does.
Deciding what you're going to get rid of too. Like Paul said, he's definitely keeping his office. He uses it for more than just a place to go and do stuff. He's using it for the credibility as well. Don't you also have, Paul, don't you have really good visibility? You know, we know a few people that, we know at least one person that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, that his location is 90% of his marketing dollars. Is that right, Heather?
He pays a lot of money for that marquee up there, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about Paul. I'm talking about in Texas.
Yes.
And his location, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a large chunk. So this is location. So I don't know if you don't have to have marketing dollars, and he's growing like gangbusters. He's much bigger than he was before COVID already. So I don't know. There's a win there if you can use that location as a marketing thing. What are you thinking about, Tom? You got 10,000 square feet over there in Charleston.
I got a lot of space. I mean, it's, you know, we don't use the office space as much as we did pre-COVID. You know, there's some people who used to work out of that office are working remotely now. We had some turnover from a support staff standpoint through COVID, and we replaced some of those positions with people who live in various parts of the world, you know. So I don't know. You know, the flip side of it, we own the building and done a little bit of research, and I've had some people tell me that, you know, they would anticipate some, you know, reasonable appreciation over the next couple of years. And I'm not sure, you know, how much of a demand is there going to be for, I mean, we're part warehouse, part office. It's located in a, you know, a central part of the community. There's some advantages to it, but we definitely have unused capacity that we don't really have a clear view of what we're going to do with it.
Well, we know at least one business owner too, Samantha, she just got a brand new office, and she got a larger office, and she is leasing out. How many offices is she leasing out? Do you remember, Heather? 3, 2, 3?
One to her husband who does IT work.
No. And then the window washing guy. And so it's at least 2 people, if not 3 people. So I think that she doesn't pay any rent now, that she completely covered her lease with the monies from the other people that are leasing from her, which I was like, okay, well, I like that. But she's a go-getter. Yeah, that's smart. So she went out and found people that needed office space and was like, hey, I got space for you. Let's pool our resources in some of these areas. You need to have somebody to answer phones. I can answer phones for you while you're out cleaning windows all day long. So it's a kind of a low-level way of beginning to share resources and figure out how to scale.
And what you're describing is something more than just subleasing space. There's synergy with the people that she's leasing to, complements her house cleaning business in some form or fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a viable strategy. You know, we've had other locations in the past, and we've had other tenants in the past, and we've leased space in the past. We used to have a much larger property than we have now, at least a lot of space. You know, strategically, you got to think about that though. Are you in the cleaning business or are you in the property management business? Because everything like that you do takes a slice of your time and your attention, your energy to keep up with it. So not to say it's not a worthwhile idea. It is, but it everything comes with a cost.
Yep, absolutely. There is no perfect answer, or we wouldn't be on this call right now, right? We wouldn't be doing the Facebook Live. We'd just be telling you this is what you need to do. Yeah. It's not a perfect answer. What did Kimberly say? Do your employees like it better? So, you know, that's a really interesting thing. I've been having a lot of conversations around this lately, Kimberly. And what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that Rosemary Stater was on, I think it was last week, maybe the week before, and she was talking about this as well. When she switched over to solos, she got a lot of pushback. People hated it. They didn't like it. And now they love it. They like being solo. They like not having to come into the office, and they enjoy doing their own thing and getting off earlier, going straight into the job. But before that, she would have sworn that they weren't going to love it better. They wanted to come into the office, that they liked the camaraderie and all of that. So I'm not sure. I think it's kind of both sides are loved, you know, depending on who you have and what they're doing. I'm sure you have different employees when you're hiring for teams than you do for solos. We talked with Chris Willett about that. And also, who else did we talk? Ryan? Was it Ryan? About the different employees?
Something else to think about too, depending what scope of work you do, right? So I do mostly residential, but we do a large, we do contracts for model homes that we're actually on property. And we have to carry $1 million auto insurance on every vehicle that is brought onto property. So
wow.
When switching that model up.
Ken Carfagno was talking about psychology of being a solo versus team.
Yep.
One of the things that, you know, technology has enabled us to do is somebody wakes up in the morning, they can pick up their phone, see what jobs that they're doing, and they can hop in their car and just go do it, be it their car or your company car if you allow them to take them home. And you can still have people work teams. Everybody has their own vehicle, but if you got a big job, you can send multiple people to that job, and then they can split out. And you know, there's software out there that makes it easy to manage that type of scheduling. And this whole idea of efficiency, and you know, that term that you know I use, maximizing the return on your human capital. If you don't have people on the clock going from your office to the first job or going from the last job back to your office, you're getting more revenue per clock hour by having people go from their home directly to the first job. And since a lot of other, you know, other industries get a much, you know, higher revenue per clock hour for their people, I'm thinking, I really believe there's merit in using maybe at least a hybrid system. And I know a number of people are doing this. They still have an office, but that doesn't mean that everybody comes to the office every day. That they're you know, they have the ability to do laundry and other things. They can have a meeting when they need to have a meeting, and you know, maybe some of the support staff still works out of the office, but all their cleaners don't show up there every day.
Well, you know, unless you have a huge office, you can't really bring all your people in at one time anyway. We do not have a big office. Anybody that's been in my office knows it's small. But when we laid out all of the little stickers on the floor saying where everybody can, you know, where you can sit or stand or whatever, not including our hallway, which what are we can't have people sitting in the hallway, right? When we have a meeting, we can only fit 12 people total in our office. So that's pretty limiting, right? Unless you're bringing them in batches, you know, bring in 12 more, bring in 12 more. What are you going to do?
So that's post-COVID.
Yeah, that's now. Before it was no problem, but now everybody has to be 6 feet away, right? Social distancing. So,
but that's
you can't have
out when you have company cars, right? And you grow
Yeah.
your business. And as you're growing, you have to have the space outside for all the vehicles to come in at the end of the day.
Good point.
Always been an issue for us. We pay like $3,500 a month, and we're paying for a parking lot. I mean, we're paying for people to be able to park their cars.
Mhm. Well, when you're
Yeah.
looking for office space, I mean, it's a whole nother discussion that maybe we would have another day, but having ample parking is a very high criteria that a lot of people overlook initially. But if you don't have enough parking, the other things just don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Karen's got a statement here about needs an office for key inventory. And that's something that has evolved over the years. I mean, it used to be that you would want to get the keys because that made you a little stickier with that customer. But now, if you can get your cleaning instructions on a phone, then not having to collect those keys and distribute those keys and keep up with those keys is really, an advantage. And so many consumers are moving to, Internet of Things, digital access to the home in some form or fashion anyway, that the mechanical keys are becoming less of a necessity. And for the ones that are, I know a number of companies will actually provide a lockbox that would go on a outside hose bib or something to keep the keys in. Maybe even sell. Some companies are actually selling them and making a little bit of money off of the key boxes to keep the keys in. We still have keys, but our plan is, if you've ever seen our office in Charleston, we've got like a vault that's got an insane amount of keys, and we're looking at ways to greatly downsize the amount of keys that we have.
We are too. We're working really hard to get as many garage codes or keypad codes or anything that we can moving forward versus having the actual physical key. What were you going to say, Heather? What are you guys doing around keys?
We're definitely moving away from keys. We don't mandatory, a lockbox or anything like that. But I remember we had borderline 150, 200 keys, and we're down to maybe 60. So it's definitely a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and it's so much better. You guys remember back in the day when we used to make duplicates of every key? Do you guys remember that? That was a thing. Everybody did that. Made a spare so that you could go and check the work after the team went. Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
People still do that today.
Let's see.
Lose their key.
I knew one company that actually had a machine that cut keys. That they could cut their own duplicates.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, things are times are different too.
Paul's talking about, he's in Hoboken and he has a really small service delivery area, and everybody goes back to his office for lunch. That's pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool. I don't know. To me, that almost sounds like I'm guessing that that's a huge benefit. That I feel like that is a huge benefit. That's kind of weighing on the side for an office for me on that. I can see that. Debbie says that having an office is just less stress for her. I get that too, right? Not having people come to your home. Sorry, Heather, you keep glitching.
I know. I'm sorry. I think it's my internet. When Paul says it, I think we need to preface it how big his service area is. That's a big difference. I don't think a lot of people can claim that.
Is it 3 miles?
I thought it was 1.
Is that right? Do you know, Tom? Phyllis?
It's small. I don't know if it's 1 or it's 3. It doesn't really matter. It's probably. I'm sure it's smaller than anybody else on this stream. Marla is.
So anybody that heard that, don't start bringing all your cleaners home for lunch. Can't afford that if you're not in that tight little space.
That could be expensive if you have a large service area. Marla's been making a work out of it for 20 years.
Wow.
And very good at setting boundaries.
34 years, and I've had an office in my home for over 20 years.
For 20.
For me, and I set boundaries. Yeah, you do have to set boundaries, right? Especially on the weekends. Yeah.
Okay, Heather, give
Take it.
a lockbox. Interesting. Very minimal cost.
Do you gift it to them so that or do you like let them use it for free while you're cleaning for them, or do you give it to them and then when you leave they get to keep it? I know quite a few companies that they bring a lockbox and that's how they do it, but they take the lockbox with them when they go. If you gift it to them, that's a different twist on that I'm curious about. I'd love to hear about that. I should do team building activities and stay very vocal on a Facebook page, Slack, things like that. So Heather, she's talking about how she's, still working on the team building. So I'm curious, y'all, when you have solos, do they need the team building? What is the objective with the team building? Is it retention? I'm curious what that is. Only because the people, I don't have a lot of solos. I only have a few. I think right now we have 3, maybe 4. Those people that I have, they don't really want a team building. They don't need a lot of team building. They really like feeling kind of like they work for themselves. So, 90% in a 1 mile radius, like Heather said. I mean, what? So
That's
crazy, right? It's just hard to imagine. If you like where I live, that's only 2 houses in a 1 mile radius. Yeah, I said 2 houses maybe. So
we built our service years off of 5 miles.
Wow, 5 miles, huh? Wow. Well, I can see that though in Florida.
Yeah.
Say it again, Heather. You cut out.
Sorry, one neighborhood, 5 miles. So we literally, that was our service, was that one neighborhood.
Wow. But still, you think about it, one neighborhood is 5 miles. His whole entire zone is like 1 mile, right? Or 90%. So Leslie says she has an office and solo cleaners, but she does have office staff. Tell us more about that, Leslie. Well, you say that it's so important to create community among our staff. Okay, I'm guessing that's the answer there. I'm just a little bit behind myself on these comments. I got my customers the lockbox. I totally prefer that over having to worry about keys. It's very minimal via Amazon. I think I saw the cheapest lockbox I saw on Amazon was like $6.50. Are you getting them for cheaper than that, Heather?
Heather's saying $10.
Oh, 10. Okay. I just sent a reminder to have it out to access. Okay, so you absolutely do loan it out. They can purchase it to keep it. Yeah, still very low cost. Great community. That's next to me. So when I hit the hearts, that's why. That's okay, Linda. We like it when you love us. It makes us feel good, right? We like it. More hearts. I want and still we are a team. They enjoy getting moments of working together. They also enjoy their solo time. Sorry, using text to talk. Yeah, no problem, Heather. Actually, that is a good point. Even solos, rarely, I don't know about you guys, but 10 for $25. What? $250? That's awesome. Now that's cheap. I'm thinking, wow, why aren't we all doing that? 10 for $25. Yeah, that's a lot cheaper than $10. I don't know. I'm writing that down right now. You said you buy them on Amazon, right? You buy them in bulk on Amazon for $25.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to be rid of keys. And if I can get 10 for $25, I'm thinking I might just do that next week. No kidding. No. What was I saying? Yeah, what I was saying is, like in our company, the people that are solos, they still end up having to work together sometimes. Most of the time they don't, because they have their just like routine jobs. But every once in a while they'll lose a job, got to get them a new job. And so they're going to have their own initial cleaning and other people have to go out and help with that. It's too much for one person to do. I guess they could do it. I know a lot of companies actually that spread that initial cleaning out over multiple weeks or days too. You don't have to get it all done in one time. I love being key free. Yeah, I can see why key free is super nice. Cheaper than making keys. Yep, bought last year on Amazon. Wow, yeah, that's a great deal. I don't know if they still have it, but all right. So it sounds like we got. Go ahead, Tom.
No, I'm just saying I'm playing around with Amazon here a little bit, and I'm finding them in bulk. Here's 12 for like $160. That's still more than $10 a pop.
Yeah.
$6.77. Can't find any super cheap, and I'm assuming you really. I mean, some of these like have a. Well, they all have codes of some kind, so that's good.
Last time I looked, the cheapest ones I could find were like $7, $6.97, $6.99, something like that. Yeah, I'd love to know where you got the one.
For a penny, but you got $5 shipping.
But still, that's $5.01.
But it's not a lock box. It's just a padlock.
Yeah, I'm thinking. That, I guess you could still, if you could fit it through the key, that could work. You know, if you could fit it through the hole on the key.
If I was a prospective customer, that would make me feel real comfortable.
I wouldn't like that either. Me either, especially since you can just buy those nice little cutters, right, to cut that off.
So here we go. Here we're at the top of the hour. So
what?
We are. It is amazing.
I cannot even believe that. I'm like, I feel like we could like discuss this for a lot longer.
Well, we
That's
could.
Crazy.
And maybe one day we will, but not today.
Yeah. All right.
If you haven't subscribed to Cleaning Business Today, you just go to Cleaning Business Today, enter your email, first name, last name. I'll drop in the link to our resources page. If you guys want to hit us up with like your best key box deal,
Link.
we'll drop that on the resource page.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, so a quick poll as we're heading out of here. Let us know, office or no office moving forward in 2021. Are you going to be moving toward an office or no office? Just drop us a real quick answer there. Heather, you're sticking with your office for the foreseeable future. Am I right?
I am. Even though my office manager state, we're still going to stay strong in our office.
Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she's still going to keep your office. A flash sale. Let's go for around. Yeah, that makes sense, Heather. You got to look for those Black Friday things, stuff like that. How about you, Tom? Moving forward, office, no office?
We'll have some sort of office. We'll probably be
2021.
Yeah, we're talking about multiple locations too, but I don't think that we figured out how to do what we do completely without an office. But what that office looks like, I think, is evolving.
Yeah, that's
full locations too.
Yeah.
So same as Paul. Paul's going to have multiple offices, right?
Yeah.
So you can have multiple locations and no office, or multiple locations and one office also. But he's got multiple. Marlo, no office. All right. Heather's letting her office go. Here's my home front with my daughter.
In an office.
So
Okay,
what I'm doing currently, I'm going to say my thing real quick. As I'm sticking with my office until I'm not going to make a decision to not have an office, at least for 2021, unless the new owners say, hey, we need your space. Then I might seriously consider no office.
That's
all right.
Okay, guys. We'll see you here tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Heather, thank you. This was fun.
Anytime.
Yeah, it was.
Guys.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See y'all later. Bye.